Hey guys, so just left church a little bit ago. I ended up leaving the sick kids with your girl. So of course I would have liked to go as the whole family. That was the plan. But I'm so grateful that your girl, gave me the opportunity to go. It was so refreshing, so needed. And now I'm heading to the store because we're missing some things. But what I was thinking about last night, in the middle of the night, some time to think because the babies are waking you up a bunch of times, two sick babies, was just to encourage stay-at-home moms, people who parent full-time. I know it's not a popular thing in this nation to pause your career, because a pause doesn't mean it's forever, but to pause your career and be a stay-at-home mom for a time. And I also get the ones who really can't, like who cannot afford to have one parent at home while the other works. I get that. There are parents that really can't afford it, but a lot of people in America make the choice to go to work because they think they're going to lose something, not that they really need it, So I want to encourage the stay-at-home moms today and just tell you that you're picking up some amazing skills. Like, don't by any means feel like you are lacking in something because you're not in the quote-unquote real world. Let me tell you all the things that I learned as a stay-at-home mom. One, and I've said this in my sales video, as a stay-at-home mom or, a full-time parent, you have to be a good salesperson. Like, my sales skills have been refined, and strategy too, because I am a disciplinarian. People who know me know I'm not necessarily a kid person, and I really don't like ill-behaved children. Like, I have an issue with that. So my nature is to be super disciplinarian, and in my head, before I had children, and yes, thank the Lord I finally have children so I can have an opinion on this, because I've always had an opinion on this, but I was condemned for having it. And they say, wait till you have kids, you'll see, you won't be able to discipline them. Yeah, right. Sometimes I'm too harsh with my poor Joden, and I have to ask the Lord, soften my heart. But that's nor here nor there, because I could go into tips on how to get your child to do what you want in another video. But when I imagine being a mommy, I imagine that I would just say sit, and they would just sit, or go to sleep, and they would just go to sleep, and whatever I would just tell them to do, they would do it, because I'm the authority. That's it. There's no negotiation. And the funny part is if there's one big thing I've learned as a mommy, is that kids don't just do what you tell them just because. Like, you actually have to convince them to. Now, again, super disciplinarian, I don't negotiate with them in the sense that they get their way. They're gonna do what I need them to do in the moment, but you still have to convince them. Like, when I was sleep training Jordan, when he was an 9-month-old, he would fight to the death. He is a very gentle child, but the few things that are really important to him, he's just like his daddy. The few things that are really important to him, he will fight till the end, bro. Till the end. So he and I'm doing sleep training, and he would cry and cry and cry and cry and cry. I mean, it would go on. It would go on. But since I was doing a sleep training method where you don't leave the room and you stay with them till they fall asleep, because crying it out didn't work for him. We could talk about that in another video. Sleep training, I'm really good at it, by the way. I got to see that he at one point would give up and turn to his side and start rubbing his hair and do things to soothe himself and go to sleep. Like, there was a moment where he decided, okay, mommy's not gonna let up, so let me just go to sleep. But he had to decide. Like there was no me making him do anything. And that was like a light bulb. It's like, wow. So So I have to convince these children to do what I want. They don't just do it because I say so. That was a big realization. So the point is, if you get X behaviors out of your kid because you asked them to, you're a good salesperson. If you're lacking in that area, which we all do sometime, there's nothing wrong with reviewing your tactics, optimizing and changing them and seeing the results. And mind you, I think because kids grow and change, you kind of always have to, like every 3 months, you have to make a review, an honest review, and say, okay, where do I need to tweak this to do better? But the point is, there is no child that just does stuff because you say so. Like, you literally have to convince them. So mommies and daddies, if you get your child to do what you want them to do, when you want them to do it, you are officially a good salesperson, and all those skills are transferable. So my sales skills are being honed right now. Okay, what is another thing that kids do? I mean, put it this way. I think that God uses every single chapter of your life, and every single chapter has things that he's going to use for your divine purpose and destiny as you're walking out your journey. So this is why I'm sharing this, because I had a season as an entrepreneur. I'm probably going to have another one based on my desires and my calling in life. But I had a season as an entrepreneur, a negotiator, a salesperson. And in that season, I was changed in many ways, learned many things I apply as being a parent, things I apply when I do any sort of events or groups, things I apply in my interpersonal relationships, and so forth. Now I'm in a season of being a stay-at-home mom. I'm still busy with things because that's just my personality. I'm involved with people, involved with groups, events, and so forth. But the point is, my main job is being a stay-at-home mom, is attending my children. Like, there's no sick days. Like, I go out at night to party. Guess who's going to have to be up at 7, 8 in the morning to get them and feed them? Me. I go out at night, I have a party, come home, one of my kids sick or something, and they wake up in the middle of the night. Who's going to have to come in and attend them? Even if I'm tired or, like can barely open my eyes. Me. This is my main job. Anything else I can do is like an extra blessing. Just like these videos and like my real estate license and everything. But this is my main job. So what's the second thing that I'm learning as a stay-at-home mom? I am learning that to look at the man in the mirror, because there's no other humans on earth that can ever test your patience to the degree where you feel like you're gonna implode, explode, where you react, you're reactionary, and you're harsh because you're annoyed. I mean, there's no other little nagging person that doesn't go away ever, even for a little break. So what my children are doing with me is really refining me, like bringing up those things in me to the surface, things of impatience, harshness, just things in my personality that need refining. We all got them, and boy, I tell you, your kids will bring that up. So I say that to say, just the fact that day in and day out, you could wake up and do the very best you can with your kids. You're being refined. You're being made a better person. Obviously, allow it to happen. Like, be careful getting so stuck in your ways. Be careful not being vulnerable. Like, if you have a child that's misbehaving, to ask, like, why? And, like, could it be some of the things you're doing? I mean, kids are a result of personality's part. But it's a part of your environment. How do you react to things in the moment? And consistency over time. That's the third thing that really helps you with your children. So, going back to point number 2 is being vulnerable enough to, when those things rise up in you, to face them head on. Know that it doesn't affect your value, that God loves you even though you have these issues. We all got issues. And allow God to refine you. Because what's going to happen? This refinement is going to improve your relationships with other people, is going to improve your interpersonal skills, at the workplace, in the future, and so forth. The third thing is what I said, consistency over time. So what does it look like to be a parent? A good parent is to do the same things every day, pretty much at the same times, and over and over. You feed them, and you bathe them, and you take them to the park, and you go here, and you have play dates, and whatever. It's really consistency over time. And other than the things you do every day, it's also how you react to certain things. Do they understand when you say no, it really means no? Like, if you're not consistent with no, then they're not going to respect the word no. They're not going to understand that you said no and that's it. You know, my kids know that no is final. I mean, like, final, like, you could be sick. You know, my son was sick last night. He still got a timeout because he was not behaving. So just because you're sick, I'm going to give you extra love and support, but you better get it in order. You know, no is no, because that's it. And I also, not only do I keep my promises when it's a disciplinary action, I also keep my promises when it's praise and when it's a gift and when it's good, you know, to the best of my ability. There's sometimes we promise something we can't deliver for whatever reason, but I strive to keep my promises both ways, when it's a disciplinary action and when it's something good. So I say all of that to say, don't feel left out. A pause that's what it is, a pause for your career. You're gonna be in the game again one day. You're not losing anything. If you're a career woman right now, pregnant, and you don't know if you should take a year off, you don't know what to do, the pressure, go back, you're not gonna lose anything. You're gonna be able to go find another job. It's okay to be out of the game a while. It's called seasons. And they sell you like you're gonna lose the steps in your career. That's BS. Watch you find a better job with the new interpersonal skills and salesmanship skills you've learned as a mom. So this is to encourage every homemaker. You're learning more than people in their career because you're being challenged in a different way, and these are all transferable skills you could take back to workplace when it's time to go. So what are you learning? 1, to be a salesperson, and a good one. 2, allow yourself to look at the man in the mirror and be refined, because the greatest refiner you have is your babies. Even getting a good poker face. Talk about being a good negotiator is if you could contain your emotions properly and respond properly. Hello. 3 is the skill, the activity of being consistent over time. And you're getting better at it every day as you see your children's behavior, and you're tweaking, and you're getting what you want out of them. And also you're keeping a schedule. Even if you weren't a great schedule keeper for yourself, you realize that, man, a schedule with kids equals peace in my house. So I'm going to keep that schedule. So these are 3 things that are highly transferable skills that you're literally learning every day and being refined, and watch you be better in the workplace from the break that you took to be at home with your kids. So be encouraged.